Hello everyone, long time no see. Today I'd like to make a video about the Zhuang language. So I'll make an introductory lesson to the Zhuang language entitled Vah Cuengh 101. So I hope you would enjoy this lesson. So the first question, what is the Zhuang language or Vah Cuengh? Zhuang or Vah Cuengh is a Tai-Kradai language spoken in South China, more specifically in the province of Guangxi and parts of southern Guizhou. It's not listed as an endangered language. However, it has an uncertain future, since fewer and fewer Zhuang youths would learn to speak it, opting for more prominent languages like Mandarin instead. So what is referred to as Zhuang is actually composed of two languages. Northern Zhuang belongs to the Northern Tai branch, and shares a close relation with Boye, whereas Southern Zhuang belongs to the Central Tai branch and shares a close relation with Tai and Nong languages of northern Vietnam. So Zhuang had its own writing called Se Dip. So Se has several meanings. It can mean book or writing or characters, and Dip means raw or crude or unripe. So together, deep means crude characters. So this type of characters was developed during the Tang era, based on Chinese characters. However, this writing system is rarely used in modern times. Instead, Zhuang currently uses the Latin alphabet, developed in the 1980s. So unless you are like a philologist or village shaman, you would rarely see like the deep ever been used. So today most of the Zhuang use the Latin alphabet. And for the purpose of this introductory lesson, we'll focus only on the Latin alphabet and the standard Zhuang language, which is based on the Wuming dialect spoken in central Guangxi. So before we start, I'd also like to debunk some common misconceptions. Unlike what certain Han Chinese nationalists online have claimed, the Zhuang language isn't a dialect of Chinese. Sure, it has borrowed many vocabulary from Middle Chinese, Mandarin, and surrounding Chinese dialects, like Cantonese or Guiliuhua. Its core Swedish vocabulary is of Austro-Tai origin and differs significantly from Chinese or Sinitic. Instead, if you look at its Swedish vocabulary, it shares a close relation with Austronesian languages. And Zhuang also doesn't use and has never used the Tai script. Despite sharing a common origin, Zhuang and Tai belong to different cultural spheres and have developed distinct scripts independent of one another. So Tai is in the Indosphere, and the Tai script is developed based on the Sanskrit script, the Bali script, whereas Zhuang is part of the Sinosphere, and the Zhuang script is developed based on Chinese characters, and today it uses the Latin alphabet. For this very first lesson, we'll only focus on the tones in Vah Cuengh. And if this lesson gets a lot of views, I'll make like following lessons to learn the consonants and the vowels. But right now, please ignore the consonants and the vowels, because we'll only focus on the tones. And I need to precise something. So before starting, I'd also like to mention that I'm not a native speaker of Zhuang, and it's likely that I'll make some errors during the presentation. So if you are a native speaker of Northern Zhuang, Southern Zhuang, Tai, and Nong languages, please feel free to correct any of my mistakes in the comment section. And without further ado, let's begin the lesson. So Vah Cuengh has 8 tones. in which 6 are 书声调 and 2 are 入声调. It's somewhat difficult to explain these two concepts in English, but just remember that 书声调 refers to tones that occur on syllables without final stops or final oral stops, and 入声调 are the tones that occur on syllables with final stops. So this configuration of tones is similar to some South Chinese languages, such as Cantonese and Min. So if you are a speaker of Cantonese or Min or Hakka, you'd probably feel easier to learn the Zhuang language than a speaker of Mandarin. So first, let's examine the 6 书声调. Unlike in Chinese pinyin, the 6 tones in Vah Zhuang are indicated by adding the letters at the end of each syllable. These letters only serve to indicate the tonal quality and should not be pronounced. So for the first tone, there's no letter added. For the second tone, you'd add letter Z at the end. For the third tone, you add the letter J. For the fourth tone, you add the letter X. For the fifth tone, the letter Q. And the last tone, the letter H. So let's examine the tones one by one. The first tone is called raising tone. It's called raising tone, but there's some nuances. You don't raise it too high. It's like the tip to pronounce this tone is that you sound kind of depressing. You don't raise it too high. And I have some example words here. Suan is to teach. Na is thick. Bei is to go. And gay is far. For the second tone, it's called low falling tone. Again, the tip to pronounce this tone is that it would sound kind of depressing. You don't fall it too hard. You just fall it slightly. So here are some example words. Meng means you. Na means rice paddy. Fei means fire. Beng means cloth. Again, please don't mind the vowels and the consonants at this time. You only have to remember the tones. Third tone or high level tone is like that you suddenly get an electric shock. You suddenly wake up from the depressing state. That's the tip to pronounce it. So here are some example words. Hen. So this word has several meanings. It can mean up, it can mean to mount, or it can mean to get on. Na, it means face or front. Gya, it means seedling. And ban, it means village. Fourth tone or falling tone. This one is a hard or sharp fall, like you would fall from a skyscraper, like a very hard or sharp fall. So there are the example words. Ma, horse. Na, ant. Go, to know. Lin, tongue. Fifth tone or high raising tone. It's like you raise it very high. And here are the example words. Gua, to cross. Va, pants. Ba, shoulders. na, na, arrow. And the last tone is the mid-level tone. Again, you sound like kind of depressing, and it's kind of neutral and depressing. Here are the example words. Da, da, it means river or ferry. Bu, bu, it means closing. Bo, bo, it means father. Neng, neng, to sit. So now you've learned the first 6 tones, or 书声调. We can make a short sentence to help you better memorize them. So please repeat after me. 孙猛哼骂呱哒孙猛哼骂呱哒 It means to teach you to get on a horse to cross the river. That's the English translation. Repeat again. 孙猛哼骂呱哒 So moving on to the 2入声调, or tones that occur on syllables with a final oral unreleased stop. So the syllable would end with the letters PTK or BDG. Unreleased stops are common in languages across East and Southeast Asia. They are denoted with an upper right corner diacritic in International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA for short, such as P with a small diacritic here on the top right corner, and T with a diacritic on top right corner. Unreleased stops are stop consonants with no audible release or release burst, meaning that you have to move your mouth to the position of the stop consonant, but you don't actually pronounce it. It's a bit hard to explain, but you just like move your mouth to the position, but you don't actually pronounce it. That's the best explanation that I came up with. So both PTK and BDJ denote unreleased final stops in Vah Cuengh. Their only difference is that the former group denotes the ones with higher tones, and the later denotes ones with lower tones. So now the 7th tone occurs on syllables that end with unreleased oral stops, P, T, and K. So it's actually 2 tones grouped into one. The syllables with final unreleased oral stops, PTK, but also with a short vowel, have the same tonal quality as the 3rd tone, or higher level tone, that we talked about earlier. Here are some examples. Big, big vegetable. Gup, gup, frog. Nut, nut, tired. Dup, dup, liver. Whereas those with final unreleased oral stops, PTK, plus a long vowel in the middle, have the same tonal quality as the 5th tone, or high raising tone. Here are some examples. Rap, rap, to carry. Bat, bat, mouse. Bet, bet, ate. Goat, goat, to hug. I know it's a bit counterintuitive. You might think that the words with like one vowel in the middle, like A or E or O, would be the short vowel, and the words with 2 vowels in the middle, like AE or OE, would be like the long vowels. But actually, the AE and OE denote like short vowels, but the A or E or O denote long vowels. So it's a bit counterintuitive. You have to get used to it. I'll repeat the example words one more time. So for the first group, biek, biek, gup, gup, nut, nut, dup, dup. And for the second group, rap, rap, bak, bak, bed, bed, god, god. So moving on to the eighth tone. So the eighth tone occurs on syllables with final unreleased stops BDG. It has the same tonal quality as the sixth tone, or mid-level tone mentioned earlier. And unlike the seventh tone, the tonal quality remains the same, no matter on syllables with short or long vowels. So example with short vowels. Suk, suk, to wash. Mud, mud, ant. Hup, hup, to bite. Sit, sit, to drink. And examples with long vowels. Mad, socks. Mad, lab, lab, smoked meat. Dip, dip, to tread or to trample. Foot, foot, wings. So as a beginner, you might make the common mistake. You might pronounce the final consonant instead of doing it like a unreleased consonant. But it's not the end of the word. Let's say that you try to order food in a Zhuang or Thai restaurant, and you try to order the smoked meat, and you accidentally said lab instead of lab. It's not the end of the word. As long as you get the tones right, they would probably understand you. Okay, so let's repeat it one more time. Sick, sick, mud, mud, hup, hup, sit, sit, mad, mad, lab, lab, deep, deep, foot, foot. So thanks for watching. If you like this content, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want to have more Zhuang lessons, please leave it in the comment section. I will do more Zhuang lessons in the future. So now that you've learned the tones, you should be able to recognize the tones of any Vah Zhuang word. So last but not least, let's learn how to say thanks. There are 3 common ways to say thanks in Vah Zhuang. 1 borrowed from Cantonese and 2 native. So please repeat after me. Doji, doji, that's the Cantonese loanword. The equivalent in Cantonese would be dojesai, dojesai. So for Cantonese, you'd have to add the particle sai at the end to make it more formal or more polite. But with the Zhuang language, since it is borrowed, you don't have to add that particle. You can just say doji, doji. But Zhuang also have 2 native ways to say thank you. Gyobai, gyobai is the first way. Bai di is the second way. So in some dialects, you would hear zhou bai instead of gyo bai. So both pronunciations are correct. And for the bai day, in some dialects they would say bai di, but in other dialects they would say bai day. So both day and di are correct pronunciations. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye guys.